Madden Underground playoff action NFC Championship. We got a great one for you guys as we have the Panthers taking on the 49ers. My name is Black Phoenix alongside Philly Guy. And Philly Guy, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. We get this NFC Championship playoff game out the way, and we're going to find out who those Buffalo Bills are going to play in the MU Pro Xbox League Super Bowl. Can't wait.
Yeah, yes, that's gonna be great one again. Shout out to Diggs for beating C Jack in that grudge match rivalry, whatever you want to call it. Again, pouring on 50-30. So dropping that 50 burger. It's gonna be interesting to see who he faces between Huncho and I believe this is Snoop, if I'm not mistaken here. So again, Philly, we've seen Huncho play against. I'm sorry, JB. I apologize for that.
All right, it's
Uh,
all right. Hey, I was gonna say something, but that man behind the wheels of steel, he beat me to it. So you all good, man. You're doing too good. Don't even worry about that, dude.
Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Again, shout out to JB. Apologies for that, man, in case you are having to hear in the stream. So let's talk about between Huncho and JB here. And Huncho, we've seen him before play against B-Guard, beating him both times that we've seen him on the game of the week and in the playoffs.
Hmm.
And JB, we've also seen in action beating Illuminati. So what can we expect here? Let's start off with Huncho, especially on the defensive side. What can we expect here out of Huncho's defense?
Well, Hancho, he likes to bring pressure. And I think that just like everybody else, he's seen that video of what JB did to Kluminati over and over and over. And I know he's determined to not let Christian McCaffrey have an impact on this game.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, and we're not going to show it for the sake of Illuminati sanity right there. But Christian McCaffrey having himself like the play of the year, breaking off so many tackles right there, and end up going having the go ahead score against Illuminati. And let's see if Christian McCaffrey can make some more magic here as Baker Mayfield decides to miss a throw right there, and that's going to be a turnover on down. So for a quick 4 and out right there for JB, and we're going to see what Huncho can bring here on offense right here, Philly.
He seems, especially in the AFC Championship and what we're seeing so far in the NFC Championship, some of these competitors are treating these games like they're regular season games, and that's just not going to get it done. It's unacceptable. No points on the board. It definitely should have been a punt. So JB's got his work cut out for him, giving Honcho the extra field position.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned those little things. Again, that's been the biggest difference that we've seen pretty much all playoff long is these little things either not taking your three. We've seen adjustments to abilities, which made an impact. We've seen people missing field goals, all this stuff. And like you mentioned, you can't treat this like a regular season game because this is win or go home playoff implications here. And we're going to see what these opponents decide to do against one another. As Justin Herbert is going to miss a throw to Christian McCaffrey, and that's going to be a 3rd and 14. Real quick here, Philly.
And you talked about the little things, and you have to scout your opponents. If they're going to be running spinner, or they're going to be running DB blitz, or they're going to be doing anything that's sending that outside pressure, you better have an answer for it, or it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, and long night. And speaking of which, that's going to be a long night for the defense if that man is going to get fired up real quick. And that is George Kittle right there. High point pass for a gain of 19 yards. And that's going to be a first down. High pointed over Jeremy Chin, who's no slouch in the height department right there, Philly.
Yeah, you got to love the read and the throw. It's just not that easy to drop back when you're playing against these type of opponents. But that's a huge play, and it's opened up the run game as we see
Ooh.
Honcho with the sticky icky cutting it up in and getting in for the score.
And sticky, icky, indeed, man. And that was a nasty user cut right there by Huncho, and he's going to take a 6 point lead pending this extra kick, and kick is up, and kick is good. So 7-0, just like that in the first few minutes of this Madden Underground NFC Championship, Philly. And again, if you are JB right now, again, quick for it out. That was actually extremely quick, more faster than we've seen so far in these playoffs. Again, you have plenty of time so you can shake it off, but definitely can't be treating this more like a regular season game. You got to turn it up a little bit here.
Yeah, you've got to. I mean, the disrespect that he showed Honcho by going for it right there. And I call it disrespect because, Honcho was at home and, Honcho He's getting the ball back at the half. So the last thing that you want to do is give him and his team any momentum. They already have the better record. You're already the underdog. And JB put himself behind the eight ball. Let's see if he can drive down the field and capitalize and get himself back in this game.
Yeah, and I hope so again for JB's sake. So this one doesn't turn out to be a blowout. JB in this New England Patriots playbook right here, basing out his trips tight end, one of the more potent offenses in the game. And let's see what he can do with this. Baker Mayfield calls a play action play, and that's going to be DJ Moore. And that's going to be a nice juke move, and that's going to be a first down right there by DJ Moore. Baker Mayfield 1 of 12 for 12 yards, and DJ Moore getting sticky, icky back just like that for JB.
Yeah, that user is going to be important because part of the scouting report, and this has probably caught JB by surprise, is that Honcho doesn't like to run the ball, but we saw him utilize the run and punch it in for the touchdown.
And there goes that man again. Mama, there goes that man. DJ Moore making another play off a broken press animation right there. So you got to be playing careful if you decide to play man press right there. As Baker Mayfield hands it off to Christian McCaffrey. We mentioned him before. And that's going to be a first down right there. Christian McCaffrey. And JB going a lot more up tempo right here with this attack, this drive, Philly.
Yeah, he's doing a much better job. He's making the adjustments. We see that outside blitz is getting picked up, and he's making big plays in the passing game.
And again, once again, DJ Moore making another play. That's a gain of 9 right there. So DJ Moore cooking a little bit with his connection with Baker Mayfield. And again, that's going to be a broken press right there. And that's going to be a touchdown. And I believe that is Hubbard right there. Yes, it is Hubbard breaking the quarterback press right there for a touchdown run. That's very surprising. Normally, you don't see running backs break those presses like that, Philly.
Yeah, and you definitely have to wonder if that was just a little bit of rust. Maybe it's his first game that he played in today, because JB doesn't look anything like he did on that first drive.
Yeah, and a very great execution. Once again, basing out that trips tight end formation with 2 running backs instead of that 1 running back and 3 wide receiver set that you normally custom see. So again, little cat and mouse game. We talk about strategy, personnel, all that. That time, JB using it smartly and paid off. Chuba Hubbard going in for that touchdown right there. And we're going to see Huncho come back out here in this gun bunch set here. Again, we've seen this already from Diggs, but we're going to see the differences between Diggs and Huncho as he goes with halfback counter right there. And Mitchell is able to get some space right there. Mitchell able to find some green grass right there and gets pushed out of bounds right there at the 42-yard line. Big play right there, going with the counter play instead of the quick base right there, Philly.
Yeah, I'm going to have to throw a flag on the play. Our producer, Brian James, he said that Honcho doesn't like to run the ball. And right now, we've seen him make huge plays in the running game. And we know that JB has excellent defense. So I'm going to say whatever scouting report he was reading was wrong.
Yeah, and again, maybe Huncho did a little bit of his homework and maybe saw the JB game that he played yesterday, and maybe said, "Hey, maybe I got to incorporate a little bit more of this run game. It might be worth something." And again, so far playing dividends off for him is that's going to be Justin Herbert. That's going to be taking the snap here, and he's going to dump it out to Mitchell right there. And Mitchell with a stiff arm and takes a big hit as a result of that. The Panthers teammates not appreciating that, and that's going to be a first down right there for Huncho right there, Philly.
You talked about that gun bunch, and we saw that verticals out of gun bunch again. A little bit of a different adjustment, but it was a big play for the first down.
Yeah, and again, this is just the cat and mouse game that we expect here in the playoffs as and Mitchell deciding to, or as Wilson Jr. I apologize for that. I can't even get the running backs' names right on this one. As he goes down, J.C. Horn making the tackle or the gain of 9 right there. So what's interesting right here, Philly, is that the halfback counter has been working 2 times now and deciding to go a little bit under center as he's going to stretch the ball out here, and that's going to be another first down. Down to the 6-yard line with Earl Mitchell this time. So we're seeing a lot of adjustments. And again, this scout report that maybe Brian James has said, not paying dividends, and maybe we were all fooled here with Huncho going more ground-based attack right now.
Yeah, and you love to see it because right now JB looks like he's one step slower, coming out with some formations that you wouldn't expect to have success against these formations that Honcho is using right now. But it's first and goal, and it doesn't matter what it looks like until you punch it in for 6.
Yeah, and again, the red zone is the dead zone. That's where games are often won and lost right here. As we see him come out in that single back deuce close, and then it's going to audible straight to this I form. And looks like it's going to be a halfback dive right there. Got bounced around right there. Unfortunately, I think his fullback got in the way right there. That might be use check. And that's going to be a second and goal right there for Huncho right there, Philly.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how many times he does that. He seems to have a little bit more success out of this gun bunch. And it looks like he's going to have that trips with the halfback week. Maybe he's looking for a little RPO action.
Yeah, and that time nothing doing right there as Wilson Jr. gets stuffed right there. JB's defense making a stand right there. And so third and goal right here. Gun again coming out. Looks like he's gonna be coming out in this gun bunch set versus this dollar that JB's been running. And let's see what the play call is. Again, we've seen the gun bunch before with Diggs running 4 verticals. And they will hit his receivers. And let's see if if Huncho can replicate that same success. It looks like some audible adjustments and some hot routes by Justin Herbert. And we're going to see what happens here with the snap here. And that's going to be mesh post right there. And that's actually going to be a touchdown right there. Thought that was going to be intercepted. And that's going to be a touchdown for Huncho just like that. He is up 13-7 right now, Philly.
Bang, bang, Niner gang on a bang, bang play. That play could have gone either way. It was a risky throw, but you know what? Scared money don't make none. He got 6, and now he's up 7.
And we see B-Gar in the chat right now. He knows all about this bunch offense attack. Shout out to B-Gar in the chat saying, what a laser. And yes, it was a laser indeed. As the score is now 14-7. Huncho over JB right now. Once again, NFC playoff contentions, NFC championship right now. We get to see who is going to face Diggs. And you know Diggs is definitely in that chat, Philly, doing a scouting report on both sides to see what his opponents like to come out in.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Honcho, he's been the number 1 seed in the NFC pretty much all year long, same as Diggs. And, I think it would be a treat for us if we had an opportunity to see them play in the Super Bowl. But right now, it's been all about the little things. And JB is going to have to figure out what he wants to do and what he's going to give up when he gets an opportunity to play against Honcho the next time that he has the ball.
Yeah, and again, you see that pause right there. That resets your defensive timer on your play call, so you get a little bit of extra 15 seconds to make some adjustments right there to your defense. But however, you cannot take a pause anymore during that half. So again, that's just something to keep in mind here as we're going to see a completion right there to the tight end right there. That's going to be 1st and 10 for JB. JB looking really efficient as Robbie Anderson is going in motion right here. He's going to hand it off to McCaffrey right there. McCaffrey making his way down to the 40-yard line. Gain of 3 right there. So interesting decision for JB to go a lot more up-tempo, similar to the last drive right there, Philly.
Yeah, and I think he's going to have to, because if Honcho did anything that has to do with scouting and implementing some of what he saw in the Packers game against these Panthers, that he knows it was very difficult for JB to score. And so JB is going to have to make sure Honcho doesn't get a chance to set his defense.
Yeah, and again, you see him going more up tempo. Christian McCaffrey, nothing doing on the ground so far, but making plays in the air game. As that's going to be a completion right there. Thought that was going to be a contested drop right there, but ends up making the high point ag right there. And so that's going to be a 1st down for JB right there. And that was a great catch right there by Robbie Anderson right there, Philly.
Yeah, I mean, you love the one-on-one, the user, click on, go up and get it, make a play, and it worked out for him there.
And let's see again, coming out of that verticals out of that trips tight end. We mentioned it before. Baker Mayfield taking the snap all the way, and he's got a man, and that's going to be a touchdown. Robbie Anderson burning the defense over the top. Looked like Huncho played a little bit of match coverage right there. Nothing able to do as Robbie Anderson gets in for a touchdown. Big play right there for JB, and just like that, he's tied this game, Philly.
Yeah, so, again, whatever scouting report you thought you had on him by watching that Packers game, he's showing you that he can push this ball downfield. And once again, people are scoring out of verticals. It doesn't seem to matter the formation. They're pushing the ball downfield, and we got ourselves a tie ball game.
And you see Huncho trying to make some moves with Gray right there. And Gray's going to get out of bounds at the 32-yard line. 3 minutes and 14 seconds left to go here in the half. And Philly, again, this has been a great game so far. And you see a little bit more of an adjustment right there coming out in that empty bunch set and deciding to go back to regular bunch. Maybe saw something that he didn't like. And let's see what the play call is going to be as Justin Herbert is going to get that to Adam Thielen. That's the first time we're calling his name. as he takes it down to the 45-yard line. And again, we talked about Huncho's roster real quick, Philly. Having Adam Thielen, having Justin Jefferson, Danny Gray, and George Kittle. This is a high potent offense that we're talking about right now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of talent, but the only problem is, will he be able to get him the ball? We saw him make a very risky throw there, and he was lucky that JB didn't come up with the interception.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned that talent right there. As we see, speaking of talent right there, that's talent right there. And that's Adam Thielen coming up big plays after big plays. Now, we saw Adam Thielen the last time we saw these two, sorry, not these two, but Huncho against B-Guard. And Adam Thielen was absolutely dominating B-Guard's defense. And we're seeing Adam Thielen once again, that Herbert to Thielen connection cooking one more time again, Philly.
Yeah, when you look in the chat, you can see Bguard 21 said with a laser, but that just tells you that he's a little bit too old out there. We call it a dot on the field there, Bguard 21, and that's exactly what's happening. Thielen is dotting up the defense.
Yeah, and again, let's see again, like you mentioned, you got all these playmakers. Let's see if who he gives the ball to next. Will be Thielen, Kittle, Justin Jefferson, Danny Gray. Who knows? As we're going to see him come out in this gun tight formation. That's going to be a pass to Kittle right there. And that's going to be a touchdown for George Kittle. And that's going to put Huncho up 6 right there, 14-20, pending the extra point. And let's see what the kick result is going to be. And Herbert is indeed throwing lasers, B-Guard. Very good point right there. And the kick is up and the kick is good. So again, all these playmakers, all this talent, that time going to the tried and true George Kittle right there for a touchdown right there, Philly.
Yeah, and once again, we see that quarters defense not having any success as Kittle runs up the seam and makes the ad catch for the completion. And Honcho, with all of these weapons, is up 7 again with 1 minute and 57 seconds left to go in the half.
Yeah, and again, we talk about these weapons on offense. We talk about so much talent that we see out of these teams, especially at this stage in the playoffs. We've seen it with Diggs. We've seen it with Huncho now. We've seen it with guys like Assassin, games we called earlier. Those abilities start mattering after a certain point in time in the game. And speaking of abilities, there's an ability right there for Christian McCaffrey as he gets down to the 39-yard line, gain of 14 right there, going again, once again, up-tempo attack right here, down 7 here. Baker Mayfield gets away from one, but unable to break that time as he gets 3 yards on the rush right there. You don't want to take too many hits with Baker Mayfield like that, Philly.
You definitely don't. And, JB got away with one there. He's lucky to get positive yards. But like you said, this up-tempo attack is giving him an opportunity to make sure that Honcho doesn't set his defense.
And a dangerous throw once again as Baker Mayfield is able to complete that pass to Oliver right there. And that's going to be a timeout by Huncho right there. It's 46 seconds left to go. JB is in field goal range, Philly, but the tried and true adage is still here. You can win a game by half, but you can certainly lose a game by half.
You're absolutely right. And, you got to appreciate the timeout because Honcho recognized that he was not in any type of defense to get the pressure and the coverage that he was looking for.
And you see JB quick snapping it, calling verticals, and as soon as he gets to the line, hike, and that's going to be a first down. Baker Mayfield throwing it, and that's going to be a high point pass to Chuba Hubbard once again, and that's the second touchdown for Chuba Hubbard. So JB got the winning formula right now with going to the running backs for high point passes.
I mean, it's a simple game, right? You get the ball in the hands of your best players. You let them make plays. He's got his running back on the line of scrimmage because he knows he has the strength to beat the press. But right there, was able to throw and complete the ad catch to tie this ball game up.
Yeah, and that up-tempo causing Huncho a lot of issues right there. And again, it's just simple verticals right there. And Huncho unable to adjust to this quick up-tempo type of style that JB's presenting himself with. So it's going to be interesting to see 6 seconds left. We might just get a heave up there, or maybe now we're just going to get a halfback counterplay. And Mitchell able to get some green grass, gets a little bit of traffic, unable to make it happen right there. So that's going to do it for this particular half, all tied up at 21. Philly guy, let me know what you think about this game so far. What are you liking?
Well, I am loving what Honcho is doing right now. He hasn't made any mistakes. He's made the right plays. And the game really seems to be leaning in favor of him, whereas JB's been a little bit more risky. He's gotten away with it, but we'll have to see if his luck continues in the second half.
And hopefully it does. Again, this has been a great game. We've been having great games all day long here on Madden Underground. So if you are interested, make sure to come check us out, MaddenUnderground.com. Once again, that's MaddenUnderground.com. And if you are sitting here looking at this game saying, man, I could beat these guys, well, hey, sign up for that wait list. We have both Xbox and PS5 leagues that you can sign up for. And we'll definitely see you in the leagues. And if you do good enough, like I said, maybe me and Philly can call one of your games. You never know. And speaking of the second half, let's keep it going right here as Justin Herbert's going to throw it out, dump it out, quick flat pass to Mitchell right there, and it's going to go more up tempo. So we're seeing a lot of up tempo attacks in these games, especially with the bunch players, Philly.
Yeah, and it's a good idea because we talked about people not being able to set their defense, and so we know the Honcho's been able to successfully run the ball, but maybe this will open up his passing game downfield.
And open up the passing game, it did, but instead to the other team, and that's going to be an interception right there, and that's going to be a pick six right there. JB's defense coming up huge right there, and JB just like that goes up 27-21 right there, Philly.
Yeah, we've talked about Diggs in the last game just being patient and just waiting for the offense to come to him. And that's what we saw right there from JB. He was patient, and instead of running the ball with that counter Y, Honcho decided to throw it, and it cost him dearly. His first mistake of the game.
Speaking of which, man, hey, shout out to Illuminati and the chat, man. Again, looking at the game going on right now, a little bit of surprise to see the eyeballs in the chat. So he's definitely watching this intently. So again, we're going to see. Oh, and Brian James trying to embarrass Illuminati once again. This is the result that we've seen out of Illuminati against Christian McCaffrey. Breaking those tackles and able to get the go-ahead score, and that's how JB is here right now facing Huncho. Brian James out here trolling, and it's Justin Herbert's gonna take a sack. That's Brian Burns on the sack right there. 2nd and 12 right there, Philly, man. Brian James, a jokester right there.
Hey, you love to see it. Shout out to Brian James on the 1 and 2 with the timely replay of what we had to bear witness with Illuminati's game against JB. And right now, Illuminati has to be thinking that could be me out there. And I know he's feeling some kind of way seeing JB move down the field, particularly with the lead up 7 against Honcho.
Hey, not only just Illuminati, but B guard as well. Again, these are the people that that JB and Huncho beat to get here. And again, let's see what happens here as George Kittle almost came down with that one, but a great defense right there this time by Jeremy Chin in man coverage right there. So dangerous living right there, trying to go 4 verts and go straight high point pass right there, Philly.
And you talked about that matchup. And so this time it didn't work out for Honcho, but he's got to be careful. He needs to get back to running the football because now he's becoming one dimensional and it's a lot easier for JB to set his defense.
Yeah, and then speaking of one dimensional, oh, big hit right there as Kittle tried to high point pass it and gets absolutely flattened out by the strong safety right there. But that kind of came at a cost right now because the strong safety is looking like Pac-Man right there on the field right there, Philly.
Yeah, he may be, but it's 3rd and 10, and he's going to have help in the back because right now we know the Honcho's not running this football.
And he's going to go with the pass right there, and that's picked off. That's the 2nd interception, and that's going to be, looks like Henderson on the pick right there. He might make this another pick 6. Does not get down. Doesn't get to the end zone right there. CJ Henderson, 2 INTs right there, and those are complete drive stoppers right there from Huncho moving the ball so effectively down the field.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the little things win the game. We saw Honcho play mistake-free football in the first half, and his 2 mistakes in the second half, they have been catastrophic.
Yeah, and again, shout out to Mr. Dots in the chat saying JB adjusting this half. And yes, he has. Again, CJ Henderson coming up with major plays back to back for JB's defense here. And he gets another first down with Christian McCaffrey right here. But as you can see, Baker Mayfield with that Omaha ability, able to see Huncho's defense right there. That's that glow, that power concentration. Shout out to the Last Dragon reference right there. And that's going to be a Christian McCaffrey down to 2nd and 2 right there. So Philly, we talk about these abilities. Now that JB is able to see defensive adjustments, it's going to be a lot easier for JB to move the ball effectively down the field.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely going to put Honcho at a disadvantage. Again, he's gotten away from the running game, and that's allowed JB to set his defense, and he's been able to force 2 turnovers that have been critical in Honcho's ability to win this game.
And almost got sticky right there with DJ Moore. But again, that's that Omaha ability. Saw that Huncho was trying to audible his guy to a deep quarter, and JB able to go with a smoke screen. So that, again, that's what Omaha can do for you, as Baker Mayfield was going to throw a corner route. And once again, Robbie Anderson is going to make a play for Baker Mayfield and company. And that's going to be another touchdown for JB. Robbie Anderson. Who would have thunk it? The player of the game so far in this one, Philly.
Yeah, I mean, you got to love it, right? The real life Baker Mayfield had some controversial situations surrounding his inability to get the ball to his receivers, but JB, he is using Robbie Anderson and Christian McCaffrey to the best of their abilities, and he's up 2 scores with 2.5 left to go in this third quarter.
Hey, and one can only know, if Baker Mayfield and or Robbie Anderson could have got their acts together, what this Panthers offense would look like. And JB kind of showing glimpses of what could have been, but obviously not in real life. Again, this is more Madden, obviously. So again, we're going to see what Huncho can do, and decides to run the ball here with Mitchell right here down to the 28-yard line, 2nd and 5 right here. And that's good. It's interesting to see, Phil. Again, Huncho, we originally thought was not going to be much of a passer, much of a runner right here, but showing more of a run game right now, down 14.
He has to go back to what got him the lead in the first place, and that was running the football. As soon as he went away from that, it just became too easy for JB to make plays in the secondary.
Another big hit right there. Danny Gray able to come up with the reception. But something I want to kind of bring to your attention, Philly. We've seen Thielen, we've seen Kittle, we've seen Mitchell, and obviously Herbert's the one throwing the ball. But where is Justin Jefferson? You have all that talent, like you mentioned, on the field, and we have not called Justin Jefferson's name at all.
Well, I would definitely have to give credit to JB's defense. I mean, you got to pick your poison. Obviously, he didn't expect for Honcho to run the football as well as he was. But, maybe we'll see him get the ball to Jefferson. I definitely don't want him to try to force the ball, because he needs to put together a good drive if he wants to get back in this game.
Yeah, and speaking of which, that's actually Thielen right there. Try to go with the high point pass. Probably not the best idea for Thielen to go with high point passes right there, as he gets down to a 3rd and 19 right here. So palms getting a little sweaty right here, Philly, as we're coming down to the end of the third quarter. And 3rd and 19, you absolutely need to convert here on this drive.
Yeah, this is absolutely critical. We definitely know that this is 4-down territory. Unfortunately, he's got a long way to go, but he's going to have to make some better reads if he wants to do that.
And speaking of reads, a bad pass once again, try to force it, like you mentioned, to Justin Jefferson. And that's just, I feel like Justin Herbert, and let me know if you think the same thing, Philly. That's 3 times that obviously CJ Henderson has been able to make a play, but it seems like the passes that Huncho's trying to make to Justin Jefferson are very underthrown right now. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what he has his settings on, but obviously those route combinations and the throws, they're not getting the job done. So he may have thrown himself out of the game. 3 turnovers, as we see Christian McCaffrey getting loose again, and he may be on his way to getting that glow.
Yeah, and again, Mr. Dots completely right there. Complete domination by JB, putting a masterclass on how to at least slow down the bunch, especially in the second half. Again, making all the adjustments in the world right now, and JB completely in the driver's seat as the third quarter is going to come to a close. And put your 4s up in the chat. We have the last few minutes of this NFC Championship game. Will it be JB that goes to the Super Bowl, or will Huncho make a comeback and be the one that represents for the NFC and the Super Bowl? Again, put your 4s up in the chat. We appreciate your support here on Madden Underground, wherever you're watching, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. We appreciate you guys coming down and support us. Once again, my name is Black Phoenix, Philly Guy, Brian James on the 1s and 2s. And let's see how this game ends right now, as we're going to see JB with at the 45-yard line against Huncho right here. And again, Baker Mayfield has that glow, and seeing all the adjustments, that's that Omaha X factor coming into play right here. And he's going to run the stretch, and that's McCaffrey. And McCaffrey, there he goes. He's going to make some green grass and make some moves right there, getting down to the 33-yard line. Christian McCaffrey, 10 rushes and 57 yards here. And JB in the complete driver's seat in this game right now, Philly.
Yeah, and you had pointed out before that free release that we saw Hubbard get, and then we got a chance to see JB audible down and have success in the running game. So it's a lot for Honcho to defend here, and he's going to have to come up with some big plays down the field.
And trying to go a high point pass right here to Oliver. Baker Mayfield missing that throw. Let's see if that costs him his Omaha ability. I believe it will. So I don't think he's going to be able to see the adjustments that Ancho's going to. Actually, he does keep it. So maybe it's two throws instead of one throw. I apologize on that one. So here we go. Baker Mayfield going with the quick base here as Christian McCaffrey is going to go down, gets pushed forward by Bosa, and that's going to be a 3rd and 3 right here. Again, you're up 14, Philly. I don't imagine he's going to pretty much put the ball in the air if he doesn't have to, but I imagine this is going to be a simple run and take your 3 points and go with 3 possessions right here.
Well, it could be. I mean, it's definitely going to be based off of the look, but I think you're right. It's easier for him to run the football, keep that clock moving, maybe break a tackle, and get a first down like we saw right here.
Yeah, Chris McCaffrey having himself a game again, making some impact again. Like Philly mentioned earlier, Chuba Hubbard also making plays in the passing game. So we're seeing this ground attack by the two running backs doing major work for JB. As again, JB doing a smart decision, chewing the clock down. So make sure that Huncho cannot get the ball back with any time. And that's going to be another quick base here. Christian McCaffrey, nothing doing right there, only gain of 2 right there. But again, like you mentioned, Philly, there's nothing else that he needs to do more. Plus the coaching adjustment to conservative, so he doesn't have or decreases the chance of fumbling. But again, he doesn't have to do much here, but just run the ball and take his 3.
Yeah, I mean, he's called an excellent game. We had some concerns after watching his first drive when he decided to go for it on 4th down. It was unsuccessful. But these little adjustments that we've seen, having 2 running backs in this shotgun formation and then having the ability to audible down, it's meant everything for his running game and his ability to control the clock when the game is on the line.
And again, there seems to be nothing that Huncho can do except try to make a tackle on McCaffrey and hope for the best right now as we're going to get another run right there. And that time getting a great stop right there. 2-minute warning approaching here in the 4th quarter of this NFC Championship. Once again, JB making those second half adjustments, completely dominating Huncho. And this is an interesting decision right here, Philly. Again, I don't think he's going to, hopefully he doesn't snap the ball right here. Deciding to put the offense back on the field instead of the field goal unit right now.
I mean, it's all gas, no break here. He knows he has to get this. He's down 2 scores.
Woof.
But I got to tell you, if he looks back on this game, the first thing that he's going to see is those 2 quarters he decided to stop running the football. And he's going to think about those 3 interceptions that put JB in an opportunity to win this game.
Yeah, and Chris McCaffrey coming up with a huge, probably the biggest catch of his playoff career right now as JB gets the first down right there, 1st and goal right there. So again, because it's first goal at the 10, he cannot get another first down right here to burn even more time right here as Chris McCaffrey is going to go down to the 6-yard line for a 2nd and goal. Now, what's interesting to me is Huncho not deciding to burn any timeouts right here. It's going to let the clock completely run right here, Philly. Do you agree with that decision right there, or just would you call some timeouts right here?
Well, it kind of looks like he conceded because obviously he has some options. He either lets JB score and get the ball back, or he tried to force a turnover. Now, he had an opportunity to stop JB on that 4th down conversion. He didn't do it, and I think he's pretty much already waving the white flag.
Yeah, and it looks like that's going to be the end as we're going to see JB continue to run the timeout. Again, even if he scores here, it's pretty much GG's in the chats right there. It looks like Huncho doesn't have any intentions of getting the ball back. Like Philly mentioned, waving the white flag right there. And it doesn't look like JB wants to score right there. And probably good sportsmanship right there. And that's going to do it right there. 35-21. And congratulations to JB and the Carolina Panthers representing the NFC in the Super Bowl in Madden Underground Season 1 right there, Philly. What did you like overall? Again, we talked about the adjustments by JB here, but what was your favorite adjustment that JB did in the second half against Huncho?
I think my favorite adjustment had to be him deciding to wait Honcho out. Brian James had already told us that, hey, Honcho does not like to run the football. He's not a runner. And JB was consistent and waited for Honcho to get impatient with the running game. And there he was able to capitalize, force those interceptions, and put himself in an opportunity to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and there you go. So like a last minute touchdown right there, pouring a little salt on the wound. And again, that's gonna be 41-21 right here, and that's gonna be end of the NFC Championship. Once again, congratulations to JB to advance to the Super Bowl. Again, Christian McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard, Robbie Anderson making huge plays. Baker Mayfield able to make the throws right there. And fortunately for Honcho, man, that ends his journey here in Madden Underground Season 1. He's going to be sent to spectator mode, and that's going to do it for his journey. So as you guys can see, we're going to have a very interesting Super Bowl right here. And, we're going to have the Buffalo Bills in Diggs taking on JB and the Panthers. So let's do a little early prediction right here, Philly. Who do you think out of those two competitors between the Bills and the Panthers do you think is going to win the Super Bowl and come away with that one?
Well, I mean, I think no question that the Buffalo Bills are the favorite. And I think, once the commissioner decides to advance the league and everybody has an opportunity just to see what type of rewards that they get for the type of seasons that they had, I think we're going to see exactly what type of Bills team JB and these Panthers are going to be facing. But there's no doubt in my mind that the Buffalo Bills are the clear-cut Super Bowl favorite, and JB and the Panthers, they've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, you see in the chat right now, shout out to Henry Batten saying, wow, I can't believe the Panthers. I could have made it to the bowl. Well, hey, you have an opportunity right now. Again, check out Madden Underground, sign up, and maybe you could be in that. He is in the league. Okay, sorry. Oh, it's Space. Okay, couldn't see Space. My bad. I just saw your government, man. My bad. Hey, you could have, but unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles right now, and that's how it goes. But like you mentioned though, Philly, again, I do agree with you on one thing, man. The Buffalo Bills look strong. Again, we thought it was going to be it kind of slowed down, but then they just turned it up, and like I said, it was the Diggs to Diggs connection. Again, Josh Allen being able to make the throws with their Gabe Davis getting involved, Kareem Hunt getting involved. So I do agree that I think right now for me, if I had to pick right now, is as in today, I would say it's definitely the Buffalo Bills as my pick to win the Super Bowl. But again, JB has been showing us that no matter what talent is on the field, he is able to make those defensive adjustments. So we're going to be kind of seeing, to me, an offensive versus defensive battle going forward in the Super Bowl. But once again, oh, and make sure you claim your drops too in the chat if you're watching it on Twitch. Again, all you have to do is check out the bottom right. If you're on PC, check out the bottom right, and you should be able to hit the claim button and make sure you get those drops for your packs and Madden Ultimate Team. But before we get out of here, Philly, again, final thoughts before we go to the Super Bowl for Madden Underground Season 1 on the Xbox side.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And again, I want to remind people that, the question was who is favored, not who's going to win. We still have to see what some of these awards give us. And then obviously, both of them have an opportunity to win this game. But, based on what we've seen, based on that phenomenal run by Christian McCaffrey to beat the Packers and get into the NFC Championship game, you got to say that those Buffalo Bills, that their journey was a little bit easier. And yes, they had a huge play against VA Dimes and the Bengals. But you know what? They've been consistent. They only have one loss. And so for that, by rights, they should deserve to be the favorite. But again, that's why we play the game. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for us to get an official date and time. And I know that we're going to share that with everybody. So just make sure you hit that like, follow, and subscribe wherever you may be tuning in, because you do not want to miss this Super Bowl. Do not want to miss this Super Bowl.
Yeah, please don't. Again, make sure you guys are tuning in, whether you're tuning in Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. Again, the season 1 is officially coming to a close for Madden Underground. It's been a great season and amazing playoffs. We've had so many games back to back to back of just action left and right, great games, close games, upsets, all that stuff and more. So definitely looking forward to see how season 1 concludes here in the Super Bowl. Once again, Diggs and JB will be the combatants here in the Super Bowl, Bills versus Panthers. So again, looking forward to a great game. All these playoff games so far, nothing short of spectacular. So again, we'll see, get times and dates and everything like that, and then we will let you guys know when the Super Bowl will be live. Again, we'll see if we can get Snypz on the call as well. So all three of us, maybe even involve Brian James a little bit on the call as well. We'll see. But again, appreciate you guys coming out and supporting. And with that, I am out. We are out. And I'm Black Phoenix, and that's Philly guy Brian James on the ones and twos. And we will see you guys in the Super Bowl for the Xbox side for Season 1 Madden Underground. Peace.